Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Very good afternoon. I am Dr. Sharif Fauzi Kamrazaman. Will be presenting for the final chapter of Programming Techniques BCS1023 under Chapter 9 File Processing. Actually, this is not a class video. The class video that in the class video we had some technical error where my voices cannot be heard. Maybe there's something wrong with my settings of the mic. So I have to do the class again just for you guys. So okay, so today we will be focusing on file processing. So this one is a very short chapter. This is where we will introduce you how for you to read data from files and how for you to put data inside files using the programming language C. Okay, so the objective of the class is for you to understand the file input and output operations so that you are capable to use and manipulate the file operations. So basically for file processing, because C language, they use the hard drive to store permanently the files, okay, the information. So that's why we create a file so that the data will be stored permanently inside your computer. If it's not stored inside a file, it will be stored as a memory. So when you turn off your PC, your data at the end cannot be retrieved after you turn it on again. Okay, so the files that we are using usually is created by a text file, okay, as a text file. So you can open it using an editor like Notepad or Microsoft Word and such. So there are basically 4 operations in files, which is the open and create files, writing to files, reading from files, and close the file. So first, the file must be opened before any operation can be performed. Okay, so when you want to open file, you need to create a buffer like this, which is file input. So file pointer input. So this is a buffer that you create so that there is a space inside your memory for them to allocate for you, for the memory to allocate the files, for the memory to allocate some space for the file. Okay, so this is where when you do the programming, the files automatically being read into the memory so that your program can run on faster instead of looking every time at the hard drives. So file declaration, basically they use the same library as printf, okay, as printf and scanf. We use stdio.h library. So before there must be a declaration, okay, after you declare the library, there must be a declaration of the file, what kind of file you are reading, okay, what is the file name, so that there will not be an error later on because there are no files inside your memory. So this is when you talk about file here will create a buffer area inside your memory. Input is a file pointer that point to the location of data in the buffer area. Okay, so and then after we create the buffer area, now it's time for us to open the file. So input here representing a file that will be opened, which is fopen, file name, and the access type. Okay, once you've done everything what you need to do with the files, you have to close the file again, which is fclose input. So these 3 lines is the most important line that you have. So access means a different type of method when you read the files. So we have read, we have write, and also we have opening a file for appending. Okay, so we have also for update here, or read and write, and then open a new file for reading and writing here. And then here we have open file for update, read the entire file, or write to the end of it. So we have the 6 type of mode that you can use with fopen. So this is an example of a code. Here we have include stdio.h file input, okay, which is input equal fopen test.txt. This is for writing. Test.txt is the file name. So when you open the file, you must make sure that you have this test.txt inside your library, inside your directory. Okay, so let's take a look at a simple task here. Okay, so let's just do it in code blocks. Okay, we have this. Let's see whether I have the file already or not. Okay, so here I have chapter 9C. Okay, open. Okay, so here I have a file. So this one, let's open a new one first. Okay, so file save as. I never mind, we use this one. Okay, here we have an example, okay, of files. So here you have a file input, okay, which is the file. Okay, this file will open fopen test.txt. Okay, if you look at, I have this file inside my documents here. Okay, this is my document. I have this test.txt. Okay, so here, let's keep this one first. Okay, we have this. Okay, so here what I do is, okay, I want to read a string from a file, which is the text.txt. So what is the data inside text.txt here? So here, you see that inside test.txt here, I have this kind of data. Okay, this kind of data. So here, in case I'm doing this one, so I have opened a file from text.txt for reading, and when I compile this file, what happened is that I read one line of the test.txt here, 0. So and then I print f, means I display the data here in the window. Okay, so I have this declaration, and once I finish, I close the file, and there will be nothing wrong with it. Okay, so this is one way, okay, for scanf. Okay, so let's do an opposite one, which is we write, okay, we write something inside the file. Okay, so we use test.txt here. Okay, we write printf. Okay, we want to put in a string, okay, inside the file. So instead of putting a string, let's just put it directly here. Okay, welcome to the world. Okay, so make sure it's printf, not printff. Okay, so you see that, okay, once we finish, we compile, there is no error here. Okay, so you see that I have this file before. Then what happened if I build the file? Okay, when I build the file, or supposedly there should not be any printf here, so I remove this one first. Okay, finish. Okay, we build the file. Wait, again, so because I opened the file, so I need to close it first so that I can run the program. Okay, so the program has been run, and then let's take a look at the test.txt. So you see that in test.txt we have welcome to the world data here. Okay, this is at the end of the test.txt. So what happened to the data before? So the data before has been removed and created a new one. So this is what we have for test.txt, a new test.txt. Okay, so again, okay, let's try to make the fscanf again. Okay, so here is where you read, and then for printf is where you write. So when you read, you need to remember that you have to make sure that this one is read. When you scan, you need to change it to read, R. So when you printf, you need to change it to write, so W. Okay, simple as that. So there are a few tricks that you can do with fprintf and fscanf. Okay, like for example, okay, let's do some writing. Okay, writing. So we do fprintf. So example, if you want to print data, like for example, for I equals 0, I is less than 10, I plus plus. Oh, so we are doing looping right now. So don't be shocked. Okay, also why are we doing looping? So yeah, looping is actually to make things a lot easier. Okay, so when you do fprintf, okay, what do you want to print? So here let's make it D, and here is let's make it I. So we want to print I. Okay, so let's remove this one first. You don't need to display on screen for this one. So we will create a data. Okay, we will create a file that will print the I here. Okay, so let's try and run the file. Okay, close the existing file first. Okay, finish build, and then my Execution done. Execution is done. So we open back to the test.txt. So you can see that 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so let's try, okay, a new one. Like for example, okay, we put a space to the bottom. We put /n. So let's build and run. Oh, we need to close this. If not, the updating will not happening. Okay, so okay, we built already here, and then we run. You see that 0 up until 9 is put into the file vertically. Okay, so this is where you use for. Okay, so now let's print another file. Okay, like for example, we create we want to print, like for example, 0 until 9. 0 until 9, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I think one of the tasks here you have to print, okay, 0 until 9 here. Okay, this is what I've been doing right now. So I want to print 0 until 9 in the file. So here is what I did before using printf. So next, okay, let's read the data again from the file. So when you read, you need to change W to R. You put, okay, %d, fscan f. Let's create %d I. Let's change R. So here R. Then we print f. Okay, %d R. I think you need to put it here. Oh, no need, no need. Okay, let's build first. So what happened? Okay, what error do I have? I need the semicolon. So let's run. Okay. Okay, so what happened? There is nothing written, so there is something wrong. So we have, oh, maybe because the file is open. Still not running. So what happening here? Okay, let's try to put it as character. Usually we need to change read as character first before we convert them. Set str. Okay, so let's run it again. Okay, you see that I am reading 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Okay, so this is what we did so far. Okay, so once you finish, okay, so you see that based on the text.txt, okay, it's reading, okay, vertically, and printf based on the number of line that you have here. So if you want to make it as the same as in the text, you put /n, and then you run it again. Okay, and you see it, you get the results as the same. So the for here, okay, the for here in this line, for is used for us to read from the line. Okay, line 1, line 2, line 3, line 4, line 5, line 6, line 7, line 8, line 9. Okay, so what if, okay, we have a little bit longer, 0, 0, 0, 5. So this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so let's have this kind of file. So when we run it, what happened? Again, let's look what happened if we run it. You see that it reads all the line. So this one representing the lines, 4 here. Okay, so since your character can read 20, so the scan input will read 20 per line. So here is what problem is. If you change it into 1, okay, let's see if I close it and then I run it again. See that only one line appear. So what's wrong with this? I think there's something messed up here. So let's just create it using 20. Supposedly it reads only one line. So if we change it into 5, 3. So if we change it into 3, what happened? Okay, because our first data already more than 3. Okay, not sure why is it still reading one line only. So let's focus on if we put it, because we have 5, let's try 5. Okay, 5, oh no, we have 6. Let's try again, 6. So I might have an error here. Oh, a lot of error. I think we just stick with 20 for now. I think my code blocks is doing something weird. Okay, so with 20, okay, you can get everything okay, from this one. So I think that is all the content for today. So about fscanf and fprintf. So when you scan, you have to use fscanf. Okay, you read from the data from the file. When you print, you can print into the file. Okay, like what we have inside the file here. Okay, oh, where is the file? Okay, code blocks. So that we have in the file here. Okay, so you can fprint into the file or fscan into the file, but remember you need to have this file input buffer, and then this input must have the link to open, which is fopen, and once you open, you can do anything, fscanf or fprintf, and finally, once you finish with everything, before you end your program, you have to close the file so that the file is being saved inside your PC. I think that's all for today. Thank you very much for staying with me. Okay, thank you. I'm very sorry about the technical issue. I cannot save the last file because it doesn't have any audio at all. Unfortunately, we did a lot of examples during that day. Right now, I'm kind of like a little bit tight, so that I can only do some explanation of the program in Globebox here. So look forward for your next test next week. So I see you guys next week. Okay, bye bye. Inshallah. Assalamualaikum.